a lot of people used to call it country rock, and that was fine. I didn't mind it because it was country, and you know, now if you listen to some of the kids' music and some of the music that's coming out these days, mine sounds very, very, very country compared to those.
Yeah.
But and so I'm not really sure how much of it is true country music today.
No, I don't consider what they play on the radio for the most part country music. I mean, they won't even play Vince's and Paul Franklin's album on the air. I mean, it's way too country. I mean, I know your dad recorded a song with Brad Paisley that Bill Anderson wrote, Too Country. Mm-hmm. What's that?
Yeah. And you know, there are a lot of people that feel that same way, but you know, it is what it is, and country music is continually evolved. You know, at one point, traditional music will be, you know, be good, and then, you know, it'd be 2 or 3 years later when all those people that were from the early '90s, and you know, I mean, I can remember at one spot in there, you know, guys like Ricky Skaggs was really big, Randy Travis was really big, even Dwight Yoakam, who, even though he has an edge to his music, he's still pretty twangy. That was in the late '80s and in the early '90s, and Clint Black. I mean, they were singing a lot of traditional country music, and then and now even, you know, the guys that are lasting, that stand the test of time, are the guys that have some semblance of being able to sing at least some traditional style country music. I mean, you look at guys like Alan Jackson, and I mean, my favorite, George Strait. Garth could sing some great traditional music, and a lot of the guys today can too. I'm not saying there's not anybody. Brad Paisley, Dwight does. Dierks Bentley, I think, can do it when he wants to. But I think what's kind of gotten me a little bit turned off is the instrumentation. I don't know the last song that I've heard that had a steel guitar on it.
No, that's really true. The what's that song that Alan Jackson and George Strait recorded, "Murder on Music Row"? It has a line where there's no fiddle and a steel guitar. You can't, no more fiddles play, something like that.
Right.
In it, but stepping back in time a little bit, 1972 you recorded "We're Real Good Friends," which was an album of duets with Don Rich, who we mentioned earlier sang harmony and played all sorts of instruments in your dad's band. So I'm wondering, did that album come about due to your popularity of the duets that you performed live on Hee Haw, or did the duets sort of follow?
Well, well, to be honest with you, Don and I were just such good friends, and you know, I mean, Don was my dad's right-hand man, but I felt very close, as everybody did who knew Don. They felt very close to him, and at one point, I found a song that I wanted to record, and it was called "Cowboy Convention." It was it was a rock song, and I thought it'd be pretty cute if we did a country version of it. And so I played it for the guys, and somebody suggested, and it may have been my dad that suggested, you and Don ought to record that. And I thought, yeah, let's do that. And so we recorded that song, and you know, it wasn't a giant hit, but it made, you know, maybe number 10 or 12 in the country, and I got a lot of radio play, and everywhere we went, it was just a big hit. And so then we just decided, you know, let's do it again, and let's record another song. So we recorded one more single, and ended up doing another album, doing a full album, and it was very good, and it was a lot of fun. We put a lot of good songs on there, and just had a ball recording it.
And I mean, in addition to performing with your dad in the Buckaroos, you toured with him for many years and performed with them on Hee Haw, like we mentioned. So, what was that experience like, touring with the Buckaroos and performing on Hee Haw? Because that seems like it would be a whole lot of fun.
Oh, it was. It was just a wonderful time. You know, as I told you before, my first job with my dad paid $25 a day, and you know, plus expenses, and you know, the fact that I was would work 12, 15, 18 days a month. At that time, my dad was working a lot, so I'd at the end of the month, I'd get a check for $3,000 or $3,500, and being a kid of 18 or 19, that's pretty good pay, with expenses paid, and so that just sort of grew, and I think my popularity grew a little bit, and my stage presence got better. There's no doubt when I first started, I was one nervous little guy, and had a lot of encouragement from a lot of people. Opened shows for Dad, and a lot of times they would be, superstar, up and coming people who would later be superstars, like Charlie Pride worked a lot of my dad's shows. Merle worked a ton of my dad's shows, and so I'd work in front of those guys, and afterwards they would all give me a critique or give me a pat on the back, or sometimes they'd say, that was really good, and you got to think about throwing this in or something like that. And so I eventually got a little better stage presence, and so my dad invited me to become a regular member of his show, and then when Hee Haw came along, I got a chance to be a guest artist. The producers of Hee Haw had seen our live show, and I was recording, and I had some success, and so they allowed me to 4 or 5 times a year I would be a featured solo artist on Hee Haw, and then that led into me being one of the musicians. I played a lot of rhythm guitar on a lot of recording sessions, and so I became to where I could eventually get to be a backup rhythm guitar player off camera, but I got paid really well for doing that, and then eventually my dad and I started doing duets. My dad said, "Come and do this song with me," or something, and I think they kind of added it in as a second song for me to do on a lot of the shows that I would do, a lot of the Hee Haw shows, and then one thing led to another, and the next thing I know, we're singing a song almost every week together. So it was a really good experience for me playing on Hee Haw. I got to be a regular member for about 7 years, and play guitar, and so I made good money and met a lot of nice, wonderful people, and got some great experience.
And you actually went on to record a whole duet album with your dad, which was probably based off of doing those live duets there, Too Old to Cut the Mustard in '73, I think it was.
Right. Yeah, we had not recorded anything together since Let the World Keep on Turning came out, and then when Hee Haw, the duets became pretty popular on Hee Haw, and he said, let's put an album together, and so we did, and we decided to stick with pretty novelty songs, which was fine, because we weren't a serious act really. He was, but I was. Us together was just meant to have a lot of fun, and so that's what we would do. And so we recorded songs like "Too Old to Cut the Mustard," "You're My Best Friend," and then that song that they always did on Hee Haw, that "You Were Gone."
Yeah.
We recorded that, and we just had a ball doing it. It was a lot of fun, and it did real well. Got a lot of radio play for me.
Well, you guys had great stage presence together. Just the chemistry, but it's just so funny. There's some of the clips are posted on YouTube from back in the day, and you can just see that you guys are like cracking up laughing. Sometimes like trying to even get through the song. It's just so funny. Well,
that was I'll give all the credit of that to my dad, because he was just a fun guy, and he just felt like if you're not having fun, people are going to notice it,